The phones are coming in, but let's go to Trey in New Jersey. What's going on, Trey?
Morning, Dave. Morning, Bully. First things first, I've always wanted to do this.
Weather. Do it again. Do it again, Trey. Weather. That's for you. That's for you, Trey. All right,
let's go. I love it.
What do you got, buddy?
So I have to respectfully disagree with you guys in this entire Ric Flair conversation. So the first thing I want to say is that I think anybody under maybe 30 or 35 has no connection to Ric Flair versus Sting. We didn't see the match as growing up as kids, and I'm not sure if we would have had the interest to go back and watch it after everything that happened with WCW and everything like that, at least for people in my generation. I'm 26, so I was born after, and I started watching wrestling after WCW folded. So maybe this is just a young perspective. But yeah, anybody under 30 doesn't have any connection to Ric Flair versus Sting. And the second thing that I want
to hold on. Wait, Trey, really quick.
Just because you're young and you don't know what happened doesn't mean that they should not acknowledge history and bring something full circle.
Sure, but how many people it's all about connecting with the audience.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people and young people as well.
This is why they went back to the Greensboro Coliseum. They went back to the same venue. Did you know that the Greensboro Coliseum was the arena that Sting and Flair had the memorable match in on Clash of the Champions?
No.
Okay, that's a full circle moment.
But that's my point. I think a lot of people in my generation don't know that.
Okay, so they're only supposed to cater to your generation?
But why would we? Why would we?
But what do you mean, why would you? You're a wrestling fan. Don't you go back and watch wrestling from back in the day?
No.
Why not?
No.
All right, so hold on a second. Hold on a second, Trey. Did you enjoy the match, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, the main event at WrestleMania 40?
Yes.
All right, so then you must have thought that the Undertaker choke slamming The Rock was just a miserable waste of time. Why would you care?
No.
You're 26 years old, so why would you care about The Undertaker, who's retired and had memorable moments with The Rock back in the day during the Attitude Era? Why did they waste everyone's time and have that moment during the main event match at WrestleMania 40?
Because even if you're like, say, my age and you didn't know, and you kind of didn't have that perspective of like The Rock and Undertaker interacting in single matches together, but you've always seen clips and highlights of The Undertaker and The Rock and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and everybody in that attitude.
Dude, I don't know what wrestling you're watching. I don't know what you're watching, Trey. Respectfully, buddy, Sting and Flair, transcended decades. It's one of the greatest feuds of all time. That match at Clash is regarded as one of the greatest matches of all time. Ric Flair is, in most eyes, the greatest wrestler of all time, and it's Sting's last fucking match, Trey. The Undertaker Rock moment was in a main event match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. The match we're talking about is Sting's last fucking match. That means you're acknowledging that man's career. So you're not going to make a tip of the cap to the most memorable match of his career in the fucking arena that the match happened at the Greensboro Coliseum? Sad. I feel sad for the younger generation that I even actually have to have that type of conversation on this fucking show. That in Sting's last match, that you can't do a tip of the cap and an acknowledgement to what everybody says, Bully. Everybody. I don't give a fuck who you ask. You ask any wrestling fan, what was Sting's greatest match? Bully, let me ask you, what was Sting's greatest match?
Clash of the Champions against Ric Flair in the Greensboro Coliseum.
And where was Sting's last match taking place?
In the Greensboro Coliseum.
But don't do it because there's a small portion of younger fans that won't know. Then they're not going to know who the fuck Sting is either. Did I do a good job in the Rascals interview?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I ask you this is because I honestly don't even remember doing the Rascals interview, to be quite honest with you. I am so red hot over our last caller to end the second hour. And
the guy that didn't know the history of Flair and Sting?
Trey. Now, first of all, Trey, if you're listening, I love you. Thank you for being a Loyal Nation member. I love getting the young man's perspective. Trey, I almost would love it if you called back in. I've never said this before. I'm actually asking a caller to call back in. So, Trey, I would love for you to call back in. But just know if you call back in, I'm red hot. I'm angry. I love you, but you can love somebody and be angry at them.
I love you, and I'm angry at you every day.
There you go. I love Trey, but I'm angry at him. And here's why. His line of thinking, Trey's line of thinking, Bully, is, all right, fucking Sting and Flair, they had a match. People loved it back in the day, but that's back in the day. I'm 26. Nobody my age remembers it or cares about it. That's where I call bullshit. Because just because you didn't see it doesn't mean that you shouldn't care about it. Case in point, Bully. And I have a lot of examples here. So, be patient with an old man. Paul, our producer is, I think, 39 years old, right?
40, but who's counting?
40, yeah, he's getting there. Now, Paul, I'll ask you, did you ever see Babe Ruth play?
Negative.
Did you ever see Mickey Mantle play?
Negative.
Did you ever see Joe DiMaggio play?
Negative.
Did you ever see Roger Maris play?
Negative.
Did you ever see Phil Rizzuto play?
Negative.
Did you ever see Thurman Munson play?
Negative.
All right, now here's Thurman Munson, Bully. Thurman Munson wasn't a perennial all-star Hall of Famer. Paul, Reggie Jackson. Do you remember watching Reggie Jackson play?
Not live.
No. But you know what? You know who all those players are, right?
Affirmative.
So if they had a ceremony like tipping the cap to a Reggie Jackson because of the home run he had in the 78 World Series, or if they went back to Roger Maris breaking records, you would understand that. Joe DiMaggio, all right, line 3. All right, line 3 is Trey. Trey's back? Yep. Trey, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Hello,
now, Trey.
Hello,
now, Trey, I want you to listen to me, and I don't mean to come off like a parrot, but I'm going to keep you on the line. I am going to talk to you, and you're going to sit there and you're going to listen to me, okay? And you're not going to talk until I'm done. No disrespect, but I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Will you give me that forum to do so, Trey?
Absolutely.
Because, Trey, I'm going to say this to you, Trey. I love you. You're a Loyal Nation. You did the what? Dude, I let you, not once but twice, do the What's Up with Bully Ray. Did I or did I not? Trey,
yes.
I'm asking you a question.
Yes,
when I acknowledge you, answer. Did I let you do the What's Up with Bully not once but twice?
Yes.
All right, I could have said, no, you're not doing the What's Up. This is a professional radio show. You're not going to come on and mark out like a fan and do the What's Up. But did I do that? No, I let you do it another time. I let you do it twice. Did I or did I not, Trey?
You did.
Okay, yes. Now, Trey, is Bully Ray and Devon one of the greatest, if not the greatest tag team of all time?
Yes, but
wait, hold on. Did you see them wrestle live together?
I saw them wrestle in TNA, not in the WWE.
Okay, so you never got to see Bully Ray be Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon do the What's Up in a WWE ring, right or wrong?
Wrong, because the WWE has produced clips and videos.
And you're going to tell me that you've never seen clips of Ric Flair, the greatest pro wrestler of all time, and Sting? Are you kidding me, Trey? I bump into walls in my home and I see Ric Flair and Sting, for God's sake. It's one of the greatest matches of all time. Your line of thinking, let's not have a Hall of Fame. Let's burn down the Hall of Fame. The NFL, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's a waste of brick. It's a waste of wood. Why acknowledge the past? The past means guts. No, you acknowledge it because it's a part of history. It's a part of, and you respect, Trey, you put respect on history's name. Let me ask you a question. Trey. Who do most people say is the greatest tag team of all time?
The Road Warriors?
Exactly. The Road Warriors. And Trey, you never got to see the Road Warriors wrestle, but yet you acknowledge the fact that most people will say they're the greatest tag team of all time. Yes or no?
Do I agree?
I don't give a shit if you agree or not. No, I asked you a question. Do most people, knowledgeable, educated wrestling fans, would they say that the Road Warriors, which, by the way, I'm doubting if you are one of them, would you say that an educated wrestling fan, most of them would say that the Road Warriors are the greatest tag team of all time?
Yes.
Okay. Dang, now we're on the road here. Let me finish. Let me finish. When we're talking about Sting, okay? Sting, Hall of Famer, right? Would you agree? He's in the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, yes or no?
Yes.
Is Sting one of the greatest of all time? Is he acknowledged as a legend?
Yes.
All right, so let me educate you, Trey. Okay? Now, you're ignorant on this, and ignorance means that you don't know. So I am going to tell you that you do know, Trey. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to help. Do you love wrestling, Trey?
Yes, but
let me help you be a better, more educated wrestling fan. Will you let me do that for you? Yes. Think about what I'm doing right now, Trey. I am sacrificing this show to educate one person, and that is you. So I am taking a nationally syndicated radio show on SiriusXM, which is also on YouTube, a podcast, and I am taking valuable time from this show to help educate one fan, and that fan is you. So you should acknowledge that and be thankful for it.
I am thankful.
Sting is, you just said and acknowledged that Sting is a legend. He's one of the greatest of all time. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you polled 1,000 fans on Sting and asked them what's Sting's greatest match, 1,000 of them will say Clash at the Champions against Ric Flair. Now, Tony Khan, who's also an educated pro wrestling fan, said, you know what? For Sting's last match, I am going to book Sting's last match at the Greensboro Coliseum. Do you know why he booked Sting's last match at the Greensboro Coliseum?
No, and I personally...
And I am going to tell you why. It's not because he loves the fans of the great city of Greensboro. It's because the greatest match that Sting has ever had in his career was against Ric Flair at Clash of Champions in the Greensboro Coliseum. That's why. So for you to say, let's poo-poo this idea, because a small fraction, and I do mean small, thank God, younger fans don't acknowledge.
That's why I want to get it. It's not a small fraction.
Yeah, it is. I haven't had anybody else call in about this but you. I haven't had anybody call in it's about other than you.
Because everybody else calls in is over fucking 40. You wouldn't let me explain, because for the past 20 years, the WWE has been the only game in town. And for the past 20 years, the WWE has not established wrestling history with their fan base. So the modern fan would have no connection to it. It wasn't explained. It was never explained.
All right. So, to your point, Trey, this is
insane.
No, it's not. You're insane. I actually think you're certifiable. And I may have to make some phone calls, and I have your number, and you may be able to get the help that you need. Trey, when Sting went into the Hall of Fame, all they did was show clips of that match on the WWE.
One time over 20 years. Thank you. One time.
Sting didn't go into the Hall of Fame 20 years ago. Sting didn't go into the WWE Hall of Fame 20 years ago.
One time at the Hall of Fame over a 20-year span that I've been a wrestling fan. Over the time that I've been a wrestling fan, the WWE has shown one video package showcasing Sting's highlights. One. And that's my point.
Sad. I can't believe that I'm actually having a conversation with a wrestling fan about...
For the past 20 years, the WWE has established that wrestling history doesn't really matter because they haven't presented it to us at all. Now Triple H is bringing that stuff back, and I'm grateful for Triple H for doing that because he's a wrestling fan, and he's a proper beacon to explain all of this stuff to a modern.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, Trey. Let me ask you a question. Do you watch the Hall of Fame ceremony? Do you watch does the Hall of Fame, does the acknowledgement of the history of our business mean anything to you?
It depends on who the person is.
All right, Sting.
So I was going to say, for example, last year I watched Paul Heyman's, and that was it.
All right, but I'm not talking about Paul Heyman. I'm talking about Sting. Sure. Do you acknowledge and respect Sting?
Yes, I do. I love Sting.
All right, you love him. All right, let me ask you a question, and this is the last question I'm going to ask, and then we'll move on because Bully's getting bored. Who inducted Sting into the Hall of Fame?
I do not remember.
Motherfucking Ric Flair. End of story. Goodbye. Let's move on.